August 15th, 2016, a quiet neighborhood in Jupiter, Florida, turned into a scene straight out of a nightmare. A college student, seemingly out of his mind, attacked a married couple in their own home, brutally killing them, gnawing their faces, in a crime so gruesome it left law enforcement and the public in shock. This case is of Austin Harrouff. That night, 19-year-old Austin Harrouff, a Florida State University student, left a local sports bar where he had been dining with his family. Without warning, he stormed off, leaving behind his belongings, and made his way to a random house just a few blocks away. Inside that home was John Stevens III and Michelle Stevens, an unsuspecting couple enjoying their evening. Austin, for reasons still debated, launched a brutal attack, stabbing them repeatedly and mauling them in a way that can only be described as animalistic. Jeff Fisher, the couple's neighbor, heard their screams and ran to help, only for Austin to turn his blade on him, slashing and stabbing. Though badly injured, Fisher managed to escape and call the police. When law enforcement arrived, they found a chilling scene. Austin was in the driveway, hunched over John Stevens' lifeless body, his mouth filled with pieces of flesh. It took several officers and a canine to finally pull him off the victim. Austin was arrested on the spot and taken to the Martin County Sheriff's Office's headquarters. But he wasn't just a killer that night, he was also a patient. Officers quickly realized he sustained serious injuries, and he was transferred to the St. Mary's Medical Center, where he would remain for the next 7 months. When Austin recovered, so did Jeff Fisher, the neighbor who barely survived. Fisher spent a few days in the same hospital as his attacker, haunted by what he had witnessed. The Stevens family, however, had no survivors to speak for them. Their bodies were taken to the medical examiner's office in Fort Pierce, where autopsies confirmed their gruesome deaths. They had been stabbed multiple times, their faces disfigured beyond recognition by Austin's teeth. It was also determined that the flesh inside Austin's mouth had been human flesh from the couple. On September 2016, a private funeral visitation was held at the Aycock Riverside Funeral Home. The next day, a public memorial mass took place at St. Peter Catholic Church in Jupiter, Florida. The Stevens were later cremated, and their ashes were returned to their loved ones, though no amount of grief or prayer could erase what happened. After being discharged from the hospital, Austin was taken straight to the Martin County Jail. His list of charges was staggering: 2 counts of second-degree murder, 1 count of attempted first-degree murder, first-degree armed burglary, and resisting arrest, a first-degree misdemeanor. His first court appearance came on November 11th, 2016, where he appeared virtually from the hospital. When asked for his plea, he responded, "Not guilty." Judge Lawrence Merman ordered that he remain in custody without bail. But this case was far from over. A grand jury indictment soon followed. Assistant Florida State Attorney Jeffrey Hendricks presented the case to the Martin County Circuit Court, where Harrouff's charges were upgraded: 2 counts of first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, and lewd armed burglary. Hendricks unsealed the indictment, making the new charges official before stepping down and handing the case to prosecutor Brandon White. Once again, Austin pleaded not guilty. For months, Austin had no legal representation. He rejected a public defender, leaving his case in limbo. But after the indictment, his family stepped in, hiring Ian Goldstein as his private attorney. Goldstein teamed up with Robert Watson, both of whom focused on proving that Austin was insane at the time of the murders. Goldstein eventually left the case, leaving Watson to see it through. Their goal, a plea deal. And that's exactly what happened. Austin Harrouff pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. Judge Sherwood Bauer Jr. accepted the plea, officially declaring Austin legally insane for the crimes of first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, and loot battery. The burglary and resistant arrest charges were dropped. Instead of prison, Austin was committed to a high-security mental institution. Today, Austin Harrouff remains confined at the Florida State Hospital in Chattahoochee. Though he escaped a life sentence, his fate is uncertain. His confinement is subject to ongoing psychiatric evaluations, and only time will tell if he will ever be deemed fit for release. The case of Austin Harrouff is one of the most bizarre, brutal, and disturbing cases in Florida's history. Was he truly insane, or was there something darker lurking within him? For now, he remains locked away, but the scars he left on his victims, their families, and the community will never heal. This has been Strawberry Ink. Thank you for listening. Please share this episode and the show to your loved ones, and have a good rest of your day. May the deceased ones rest in peace.